What is up, everybody? Welcome here to Books and Hoops podcast. I know it has been a while. It has been really such a long time. Honestly, was just at a different point in my life where podcasting wasn't the essential. But I definitely wanted to jump back on here and kind of dive into what this NBA offseason has been, because this NBA offseason has been an insane NBA offseason. So if you guys enjoy basketball at any types, college, NBA, this is definitely the podcast for you. So make sure you leave a like, rate it, do everything, because the episodes are gonna slowly start coming back in. So you definitely don't want to miss this. Also, if you haven't checked out my music page, make sure you do that over on Spotify. Brandon Breeze would be that name. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. So it's been, in my opinion, what has been a very crazy offseason. And you're probably wondering, what do I mean by a crazy offseason? Well, we've had trades, we've had free agents, signings have been thing. We even have NBA head coaching decisions that were mind-boggling, which we'll get into that too with just everything. Like, this NBA offseason is, if you're a basketball content creator, it's going to be insane. But without further ado, let's dive right into it, because it has been such a crazy offseason for the NBA, just in general, and just such a crazy NBA offseason so far. But before we get into that, I also would like to say congratulations to the New York Knicks on winning the 2026 NBA Finals. If you know me, I root for the New York Knicks, so very cool to watch my team win a championship. And for the city of New York, for Knicks fans in general, congratulations. But without further ado, let's get back into the episode, which is what you guys are all here to listen to. You're not here to listen to me ramble. I mean, I guess you are. If you're listening to this, you definitely are here to listen to me ramble. But so I'm just trying to. I have a list, so I'm just trying to figure out where it started. So the offseason started when the Chicago Bulls hired Portland Trailblazers interim head coach Tato Sprinter. Honestly, Sprinter did a great job for the Blazers, despite being kind of thrown to the wolves when Chauncey Billups got suspended one game into the season. So I think the Bulls are building this new regime, and we've kind of seen them make some significant changes in the front office and even in their starting lineup, and we saw what they did in the draft, which was pretty phenomenal as well. So I think what the Bulls are building is pretty spectacular. Do I think the Bulls are going to be an Eastern Conference playing team? No. They are definitely still maybe a couple years away, but I do think they may be now that the Hornets have kind of blown it up, and we will get into the Charlotte Hornets in a minute, because they have made some crazy trades that I don't think anyone really saw coming. So kudos to the Charlotte Hornets, and we will get to them very shortly. But anyway, with this Bulls team, I'm interested to see where they go in the offseason. Where do they go? They had such a good draft. But where do the Chicago Bulls go from here, I think, is the big question, and I think we'll find that out soon enough in the offseason. So that was kind of the first big move of the NBA offseason. Personally, I like it. I think it's a solid move for the Bulls, and I like what they are building. The next one we have is kind of a big one, and it was the Dallas Mavericks hiring Michigan's head coach Dusty May to become their head coach. And the reason why this was shocking was because Dusty May is coming off a national championship with Michigan, And I don't think anyone had it on their 2026 bingo card that Dusty May was gonna leave Michigan after 2 seasons to take the Dallas Mavericks head coaching job. But if we look at Dusty May's track record in college, like he was a good head coach in Michigan. Like he was an extremely good head coach in Michigan, turned them around. But before Michigan, he was at Florida Atlantic, and he took them to the Final Four. So I mean, he's definitely very good. We've seen it before. He is can how well is he going to adapt at the NBA level? We're gonna see, and it's actually funny. Dusty May is the first coach since Michigan's old coach John Beilein to jump from college to the NBA. So it's kind of crazy how Michigan has had the last two college coaches jump to the NBA ranks. Like just craziness, like in general. Bizarre. But honestly, I think I think it's a good move for the Mavericks. I think you're getting a winner. Dusty May, no matter where he's been, he has won, and kudos to the Mavericks, man. Cooper Flag is definitely getting a good one to be his new head coach. So kudos. And then I think that this was kind of a shocking one too. We had the Minnesota Timberwolves trading Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets, in which the Bulls were also involved in this trade, and Nick Claxton went to the Bulls. So I already kind of gave the Bulls credit for this move, like for how good of an offseason they have, and now the Bulls are adding Nick Claxton. Very good move by the Chicago Bulls. But Julius Randle, I don't know. He's going back to Brooklyn. He's going back to New York, where he played for the Knicks for like a couple seasons. He turned that Knicks team around. So the question is with Julius Randle, can he potentially turn around this Brooklyn Nets team alongside Michael Porter Jr.? Honestly, I think Julius Randle is a phenomenal player, but I don't think he's ever going to be that player that is going to be a number 2 or even number 3 on a championship winning team. We've now seen that with the Knicks and with the Timberwolves. But I think for the Nets, Julius Randle is a veteran leader. He's going to help be present. I think it's a solid move for the Nets to add Julius Randle. But question is, how happy is Julius Randle to go back to New York? Like, we will see. But kudos. And then the big one. And then the big one, the big news. The news that I feel like we've all been waiting for since last offseason and even during midseason this year. We have the Milwaukee Bucks trading Giannis Antetokounmpo and forward Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat in a package for Tyler Hero, Keontae Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Casper Jugacicto, I might have done that one, and 3 first-round picks. Honestly, we've all been waiting for Giannis to get traded forever, and it finally happened. And Miami, I think the Heat are a phenomenal organization, and I think Giannis and even Bobby Portis are going to succeed so well in Miami. I love that move. For the Bucks, you're finally going into a rebuild mode. You're bringing Tyler Hero back home to Milwaukee, where he's from. He's from Wisconsin. The Bucks are going into a rebuild. The Heat are kind of going to win now. Can the Heat be a finals contender with Giannis? We will see depending on how they build the rest of the team around Giannis. But yeah, I mean, Giannis going to Miami, it's a great move for Miami. It's a great move for the Heat, and it's, in my opinion, an even better move for the Bucks because you are going into a rebuild, a much needed rebuild, coming off that 2021 NBA championship, which seems so long ago. So, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but then we had the Lakers signing Austin Reeves to a max contract. Now, Austin Reeves, I think he's good. He might be slightly overrated or slightly underrated depending on where you put Austin Reeves. Do I think it's a good deal? Yes. I think Austin Reeves is a phenomenal player. And with the rumblings and LeBron James or even LA, which we will get to very, very shortly, I think it's a solid move for the Lakers to give Austin Reeves a max contract. And he is probably the future next to Luka Doncic in that LA Laker backcourt. So kudos to the Lakers for signing Austin Reeves. Really, that's all I have. I'm not the biggest Austin Reeves fan, but I'm also not the biggest Austin Reeves hater. The dude's a walking bucket. And then we had probably what was the most shocking move of them all was the Minnesota Timberwolves acquiring Charlotte Hornets guard LaMelo Ball in exchange for Niles Reed. I remember I woke up to this news and I was just like, LaMelo and Anthony Edwards are together in the Minnesota backcourt. The number 1 and number 3 picks in the 2020 draft is absolutely insane. It's a really good move for Minnesota. Will it work? I think so. It is an extremely, extremely good move for Minnesota. I personally like the move. And then for the Hornets, like, Niles Reed is good. Minnesota fans love Niles Reed, so I think it's a solid move. Unfortunately, it's part of the business where the Wolves probably didn't want to give up Niles Reed, but they had no choice because they wanted LaMelo Ball. So, kudos to the Minnesota Timberwolves trading Julius Randle to go get LaMelo Ball. But in a stacked Western Conference, does this move work? We will see. We will definitely see. I feel like only definitely time will tell. But I feel like it's a good move. I don't know. You guys can let me know like on the YouTube video like what you guys think, but. Personally, I think it's a fantastic move for both sides. Although for the Hornets, it is a little questionable because you were literally just in the playing tournament and had one of your best seasons to date last year, and then you trade LaMelo Ball. I don't know. I don't know. This trade head scratches me. So you guys who are listening on YouTube can comment because this is one of those moves that is like a head-scratching move that I don't know if it's like good or bad. It's good for Minnesota, but for the Hornets, it's a questionable one for sure. Then we have the Warriors re-signing Al Horford. Honestly, not the biggest of news, but for Golden State, like, you bring back a veteran presence in Al Horford who can help continue to mentor Quentin Post. That's really all I got in the Al Horford news. Then, like, the other big news is the defending champion New York Knicks re-signed Jose Alvarado. Honestly, Jose Alvarado deserves New York. He's from New York. And he was tremendous for the Knicks. Like that, in my opinion, was a great deadline pickup. Jose Alvarado fit in right away, and gave the Knicks some good defense and veteran presence off the bench. And he even stepped up on the days Jalen Brunson was out. So kudos to the New York Knicks for bringing back Jose Alvarado, who, in my opinion, was a huge part of the New York Knicks really making that deep postseason run. So I like it. I like it for the defending champs. Then we had the Thunder re-signing Isaiah Hartenstein, which kudos to them. Hartenstein is definitely a top center in the game. So the Thunder are going to do it. And then the Magic, Wade, Jonathan Isaac, honestly, I think they should have done it sooner. Like, Jonathan Isaac barely played for Orlando. He was always hurt. And the Magic are kind of just cutting the cord. Like, he doesn't fit the new culture that they want to bring in. But I think that they should have done that years ago. But Jonathan Isaac is now a free agent. And then the Charlotte Hornets, this one you think that the LaMelo Ball trade wasn't bad. Then you look at it and they trade Miles Bridges to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for a 2029 first round pick and a 2027 second round pick. No, excuse me. The Phoenix Suns have acquired Miles Bridges, a 2029 first round pick, and a 2020 second round pick. I completely read that wrong. Sorry. From the Hornets in exchange for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first round pick. It's a weird move because the Hornets are giving up a 2029 first round pick and getting a 2033 first round pick. So like the Miles Bridges trade is confusing, and I still don't know what the Charlotte Hornets are doing. I guess I'll never know. Honestly, for the Suns, I like the move for the Suns. Like Miles Bridges is definitely an upgrade over Royce O'Neal. But the Charlotte Hornets were just in the play-in tournament, and I don't understand what they are doing. But kudos to the Charlotte Hornets for doing their thing. Miles Bridges, I think, is going to fit in perfectly in Phoenix next to Devin Booker and the core that they have there, Mark Williams, his former teammate Mark Williams. But just a head-scratching move, man. Like, I don't know. I honestly, am confused by what the Hornets have done. So then we have a couple big moves, and one of them is the Memphis Grizzlies trading point guard Ja Morant to the Portland Trailblazers for a package centered around Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Honestly, same thing to the Giannis situation. Like, we have all been waiting for Ja Morant to get traded. I did not think the Blazers would be involved in the Ja Morant sweepstakes whatsoever because they have so many guards now. They have Dame, they have Ja, they have Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday. So, they have so many guards. I honestly think that the Blazers are going to end up moving Drew Holiday or maybe Scoot Henderson to the Celtics to go out and get Jaylen Brown. But, again, that's all speculations and just my opinion. But for this side of things, when Ja's on the court, he's a good player. But injuries and off-the-court issues have kind of slowed Ja Morant down as far as his player production. So I don't really know how to feel about that. But I do like the move. Ja Morant is on his way to Portland, and this signals that the Blazers want to take the next step in the Western Conference in what is a loaded Western Conference with the Thunder, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Timberwolves. So it's I don't know how far the Blazers go into the postseason, but kudos to Portland for making the move. Ja Morant's good. For Memphis, you're retooling a little bit. I don't know if they're going to send Jeremy Grant elsewhere, if they're going to keep Jeremy Grant, but shout out to Portland for getting a move, getting a guy like Ja who's going to sell jerseys and sell tickets and really help bring the Mob Center out. But other than that, like I said, this NBA offseason has been crazy. And then I just want to talk about this. The New York Knicks are bringing back Landry Shamet. Great move. Shamet was a great piece for the New York Knicks going down the stretch to the championship run. So Landry Shamet coming back is really big. Then we got news earlier this week, earlier this week, that LeBron James was going to be leaving the Lakers, and apparently he's open to negotiating with all 30 teams. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked LeBron's leaving the Lakers, but they really haven't done enough to where I think he would want to stay to try to compete for a championship. So I want you guys to tell me down in the comment section below, if you're watching on YouTube, where do you think LeBron James signs? I know there's been rumblings about Golden State. Will it be Golden State? Will it be New York? Will it be Boston? Or is there going to be a surprise team in the LeBron James sweepstakes? You guys tell me right down there. Where do you think LeBron James is going to sign and play his next years of basketball? And then, honestly, and what I think is a big move, we have the Toronto Raptors reacquiring Kawhi Leonard from the LA Clippers in exchange for Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a pick swaps. Now, it's funny because Kawhi left the Raptors 8 years ago to sign with the Clippers, and now he's coming back to the Raptors and signing the extension with them. Honestly, it's a good move for the Raptors in what is a weak Eastern Conference to bring back Kawhi, add Kawhi to your core. And for the Clippers, you're kind of rebuilding. Brandon Ingram's going back to LA, where he spent the first couple years of his career with the Lakers. Now he's going to LA to play for the Clippers. Honestly, it's a good move for the Raptors, who are banking on trying to win a championship in this year's with Kawhi right now. Kudos to the Raptors. Kudos to the Clippers. You guys let me know what you think down there and down below. And yeah, that's really all we have at this point in the season. Will Jaylen Brown be the next star to be traded? Who gets traded next? I don't really know. If you guys enjoy these podcasts, make sure you leave a like. Rate it if you are new. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys this week. You guys are awesome. Stay humbled. And remember, basketball's right around the corner. Peace.